Sorcerer's Stone. That's such a
because we
demonized Philosopher's Stone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so
God,
good.
I forgot how getting Harry Potter in this country was like a nightmare scenario.
Wait, which came first? Full Metal Alchemist or Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
The chicken.
Yo, so I started binge watching JoJo's,
Oh, good.
but I fucked up and I started binge watching the 5th one instead of the first one.
How the fuck do you do this?
Well, stop.
Because
Just stop. You gotta stop and start at the beginning.
yeah, I did.
Okay, sweet.
But I made it to like the 7th episode, and I was like, wow, this is so good.
Oh man, you set yourself up for quality.
And then I was just like, but they said it was so bad in the beginning, and then I like looked at it, it was like season 5, episode 7. I was like, damn. But like all I did was I looked it up and I hit play, so I figured it would just take me to the beginning. You know?
You just gotta get through 200 episodes and then you'll be at part 5.
Yeah.
Currently we're through part 6, so.
I'm not.
Yeah, we're on part 4 with you, Josh.
But it is good. I'm definitely intrigued. You know?
Yeah. Is it bizarre?
Bizarre?
Yeah.
Is it a bizarre?
It's kind of fucked
Is it
up
bizarre?
though. This is the only part where there's no actual JoJo. It's Geo.
Geo.
Which is JoJo.
Giorno Giovanni.
Oh, JoJo.
And what?
In part 5.
Maybe I'm watching the wrong one.
No, you are. I'm just making a joke because the name of the show is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, is it bizarre?
It is bizarre.
How bizarre? Alright, so I'm doing alright. How's everybody else on sound? Thomas, say a word.
Hello, world.
But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a show where.
Hello. How are you?
Alright, sweet. That is the live audio test. We're ready to begin. I don't have the background music going. I'm doing terribly this week. There we go. Thank you, Brian. Oh, getting real close to copyrightable material there. Be careful. Alright. Boy. Where last we left off. I opened my phone and it was Crab Rangoon. The memories.
Oh, like an hour ago?
It's almost like I've forgotten them entirely.
Drop some likes in the chat for Crab Rangoon.
In memory of Crab Rangoon.
I will remember you. Oh, here we go.
Stoff. Don't forget his name. Stoff.
Sloth?
Stoff.
Warmed up. Nat D12.
Whoop. Value.
He's usually your metal guy.
Yeah.
They're all my die.
I know, but I was just saying.
All
Well,
talk
with the
about-
exception of the ones we opened,
They're
and
all Alex's. Even yours.
they also start gravitating towards. You do not know the powers. Yeah, we're good. Could you boys shift leftwards?
His left, not yours.
Yeah, so usually I get it a little better than that. Oh yeah, we're great. See? We're good. So, gentlemen, where last we left off, the world was discussing peace. Discussing how next to move along. How will the world be broken down? How will it proceed? Who shall be in charge of such things, and how? For what purpose? But instead of picking that decision on a whim immediately, everyone was told to take 24 hours, go home, and think about it. While going to a rest spot of yours that was a famous kind of location for your group, you were met by a new friend by the name of Stoff, also known by some as the Longstaff, a mythical being of odd shape and fuzziness often seen in the forest. And he had some oddity in a grove, or part of the grove he liked to frequent and call home. You visited with him and found in it a rift. A rift that was similar to you, that you had bumped into before. You guys communed with nature, you guys did some observing. We took a break, and to my knowledge, we're just still there, right?
We're in Thomas's mansion, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Or, sorry, what's your character's name?
Mac,
Max.
Mm.
Mansion.
did you guys want to do anything in the mansion, or are we completing a long rest?
I think we're completing a long rest.
Completing a long rest,
Alright.
so I can.
Yeah, make sure that's reflected on all of your guys' character sheets.
So who's
The
going to be
only
the...
other thing I will say is I will re-up my alarm so it's set for 8 hours.
Where is your alarm specifically going to be? Around.
Where the tree is.
Okay.
So it's still within the range of the Magnificent Mansion.
100%.
So with the long rest, I lose summon Fae and learn speaking with nature. Is that what it's called?
Speak with plants, I believe.
Speak with plants. So I can speak with
Also, it doesn't have to be at the same level. You can mix and match as you see fit, by the way. It is
Okay.
smart to change by the level just for, like, making things easier on you. But, like, you can completely shift everything. You have, I think, 24 spells to choose from, you
Right.
know. Use them as you see fit.
See, I was thinking about, because like I don't really foresee using reverse gravity, but that's my only 7th level spell, so it doesn't make sense to just get rid of my only 7th level.
Can't confirm it. Speak with plants.
Speak with plants?
Yeah. I was,
Maybe give eye up some 7th level spell slots. We're going to proceed a little bit with, I'm going to talk to them for a bit. If you find a 7th level spell slot, you can retcon it and be like, I also shop this out.
okay. Heard that.
Alright.
So
I can confirm also that no alarms went off in your past 8 hours. Was Philip doing something?
He was at the castle.
That's right.
I was going to say, who's going to wake up in a cold sweat and be like, Druids! Druids can talk to plants.
I'm assuming that that's what
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah. It's all coming together.
You all awake, you all come out. There is no change of any, notable case. The rift is still gone, the shield still remains. Because, you can, now that you've seen the shield, you can kind of know how to poke and prod it easily. It's still there. It doesn't even seem changed. Nothing bad is happening. None of the plants are wilting. But the rift is still disappeared.
May I take a closer look at the location inside the tree?
Sure. You used a level 9 to dispel it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. What are you trying to do inside the tree? I'm sorry.
General investigation.
And give me a general investigation.
That is a 15.
Are those 2 13s?
One was a 13 and one was a 4.
Ah. Finding anything? Yeah. Druid level 7s kind of suck a little bit.
Yeah.
You said 15?
Mm-hmm.
This tree itself, while everything here is kind of touched by the Fae and the Evertree, this tree itself does not have anything particularly interesting about it outside all of the other ones. Other than the case that it could casually hide a rift that was hiding in it, and that kind of hollowed out chamber that you're kind of now sitting in.
Okay.
That's kind of why it was picked, is what you can tell. It's not more touched than any of the trees, it's not less, it's just... This was a perfect spot to hide it. Almost as if it was done on purpose.
What time of the day is it?
You guys stopped around 3, met with him, went here. So it's probably 1 a.m. I think we can say.
Oh, super early.
Like that sounds right to everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you guys didn't do anything except for meet Brian and then come right here, right?
Just say to the group, hey guys, it probably would be a good move on our part
Plane shift's cool.
if we just check the surrounding area to make sure that everything's
Just seems-
okay.
Give me 1 second, bud.
It seems super specific.
It is, so it's one of those times it's like it's great to pick it up later.
Mm-hmm.
Firestorm is great.
Mm-hmm.
Mirage Arcane is really
Tonight.
cool. It's one of those spells
Tonight's
that's really good for a D&D, like for the DM like me.
Yeah.
Character's gonna be up forever.
You can
Regenerate's
take, like, a
cool, but like once again, hyper specific. It really is not worth 7th hour. So like, I think if you're talking
As
damage,
fucked up as it is, I can't just use greater
Firestorm?
restoration.
yeah. But the problem is like that can hurt the trees. It can catch stuff on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do Whirlwind. That's pretty cool.
Well, I needed a piece of straw.
But you have that
Yeah.
because you have a component pouch.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
Yeah, give Whirlwind a look while I answer this guy's questions. What were you saying?
I think it would be a good move if everybody would just take a moment to just check the general area to see if anything looks different since when we stepped in.
Okay. Give me a perception check, everybody.
What is it, 2? Ooh, that's bad.
That's what I like to hear. Are either of them ones?
No.
Okay. Because don't forget, if they're ones,
Let me know, and I'll burn a reaction so you can re-roll it.
Oops.
that's what he's here for.
That's a 16.
Oh, and you said that was bad.
21.
Ooh.
25.
Ooh. Were you just saving that so you'd be last on purpose, Josh?
No, I figured I'd wait for you instead
I
of
cut
just
it-
telling you the numbers so you
I cut in
forget.
words in.
No, me.
I must
Me.
Plus, we're also recorded, so I wonder how many times I forgot the number 2. It was just like, 17.
No, that's not what you said. What you said?
I learned Whirlwind
Good.
over the long rest
Good, good, good.
and the speak with words.
Gotcha. You awake, you exit, you see. You got a 15, you said?
16?
16,
21.
16, 21, 25. 16. You see him investigating the tree in the hollow where the rift was.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect little hiding spot he
Bless you.
discovered for it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You see Korvac kind of perusing the outside, checking for security, seeing if the shield is still in place, and it is. With a 21, you check the perimeter. The forest still exists as it was when you went to sleep. It has that border right at the shield there where you can see it protected it from the fire. Everything on that side seems accounted for. You peruse and look up. You even look up. You're pretty, you got a tree over you, but everything seems normal. Nobody hiding in it. With the 25, and you're checking the perimeter, you don't see any sort of life on the perimeter. Nothing's coming to and fro. Almost like the animals know that this isn't a good place. That something is off about it.
Not even recent, so like even after we removed it. Okay.
Can you unlearn an instinct overnight?
True.
It's what meth's for.
What?
That's what.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to break that one down for me?
It's what meth's for. I'd like to use a couple minutes to gather dead twigs and rebuild our fire and just get the fire going again. Because I imagine it's gone out.
Yeah, sure. My friend, was there something you wanted to do?
I'm gonna use speak with plants to talk with the tree that the rift was found within.
Got you. I need you to fill me up like it did. You fill me up like it did. I'll tell you whatever you want to know.
Stop hasn't been with Tree.
I need you guys to turn away.
Go back into the back.
We just but you.
I'm gonna branch. All right. So this is
Vasco never did that.
so. What I love very much is it seems like it's something you're doing to yourself.
Yeah.
Like I can learn. But what you're actually doing is it's a 30-foot radius around you. You imbue plants within 30 feet of you with limited sentience and animation, giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. You can question. So yeah, isn't that weird? It's just like you're sentient and ambulatory now. Like, why have you done this to me?
Are they only able to communicate
hold
with
on.
you?
It's what it says. Giving them the ability to communicate with you and follow your simple commands. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say you guys can see the movement and the discussion, but you can't understand it. You can question plant about events in the spell's area within the past day, gaining information about creatures that have passed, weather, and other circumstances. You can also turn difficult terrain caused by plant growth, such as thickets and undergrowth, into ordinary terrain that lasts for the duration. Or you can turn ordinary terrain where plants are present into difficult terrain that lasts for the duration. Why? Okay. Plant might be able to perform other tasks on your behalf at the DM's discretion. The spell doesn't enable plants to outgroup themselves and move about, but they can freely move branches, tendrils, and stalks.
Can you jerk me off?
Technically!
Feed me, Seymour, feed me.
If a plant creature's in the area, you can communicate with it as if you shared a common language, but you gain no magical ability to influence it. The spell can cause a plant created by the Entangle spell to release a restrained creature. Oh, that's very hyper-specific. Cool. Alright. So you have that for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, you...
You gotta blow something up today?
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah, I'm like, are we gonna be done with the dice over there soon?
That's what I'm looking for.
So, there's a knot on the tree,
Yeah.
on that kind of puffed dark pout where the rift was inside of. And it kind of grows like a singular thicket of mass on one part that kind of seems like an eye. Lighter on the inside, darker on the out, but still ultimately part of this larger black mass. The lower part of which starts like ambulating like a mouth would, encased in this kind of failed offshoot of a branch. I think I remember seeing you before, long time ago.
Yes. I used to come over here often.
Why'd you stop?
Someone came and burnt down the forest and the grove. I evacuate.
He turns and, yes, I remember that too. I'm sorry. I'm not well, you see. He's gonna need something to write on. You know, give him like the fucking leather case or something. I don't know if that's gonna be stable enough, but don't give him your player's handbook. Give him the plastic.
I think this would be.
Right. As long as it's good for you. I'm not doing well lately.
Did you know you had something put inside you?
Yes. It's been rather taxing. Thank you and your friend for removing it, please. The other trees, thank you. And you all look and see within a 30-foot radius of him, all the other trees kind of like shake and wobble a little bit, not a lot. They look like they outwardly they look healthy, but they do not shake and vibrate with a healthful gait. You even hear like a weird whispering in between the trees. It's indecipherable. It almost sounds just like wind, but it sounds voiced by a creature. And you hear him as kind of faint cheers and applause.
Do you know who put that there?
A monster. He had a sort of plate mail armor that he was growing out of. Deformed wings. Some sort of large staff. Wait a minute. No, he wouldn't have had that yet. Sorry.
That's fine. It was still, it made sense from the beginning.
Does Thomas know
Mhm.
who it is?
Melee.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am putting likely culprit though. Can never be 100%.
It was a
certain.
shapeshifter or a skinwalker?
It's he found a growth that I have, and using some sort of shard, he cut a hole inside of the world inside me. And I've been feeling so unwell ever since. And before he left, you see some branches and twigs and stuff move kind of towards the shield that you can faintly make the outline of out it, and it's against the sky, looking upwards. He left this as well.
The shield?
Yes.
To protect you. To protect this area?
Yes. The rifts, us, all this, everything. You can relay this information to them.
I do.
Okay.
I'd like to make a nature check to see if they're gonna get better over time or if this is just too late for them.
Go ahead and give me a nature check, my dude.
So,
18.
Is that a 4?
It was.
Nice. You can tell, outwardly it looks fine, but the more you like press and poke and prod, and like, you know, sadly, take a little bit of a knife, cut into it a little bit just to get a good gander, not to hurt it. It's not as vibrant as it should be. It's not as spongy as it should be. It's not dry, but it is. It's almost as if life itself is being drained from it.
I can assume this is just the effects of necrotic damage.
it seems like not the application of damage,
The
but
draining.
instead the draining, precisely.
Mhm.
The
He's-
draining.
100% the training life from the area, and that's why it had to be protected so it could continue to produce life. That's exactly what happened.
Bingo.
Is there something I could do to help them?
The simple removing of the rift is enough for it to slowly heal over time.
This might sound like a weird question, but do they want this shield to still be here?
Would you guys like the shield to still be here?
Will you all be here for the rest of time to protect me? He reaches towards your face.
Will I?
Yeah.
No.
Then yes, please keep the shield here.
Yeah, that's him.
Even if you were to remove it, if the bad man comes back, he'll simply put up another one. He seemed to have a device that did it for him.
Fuck.
Just scribble this into my notebook as well.
Or you could literally.
I have literally written it, but I'm also like...
It was a
He
device.
he didn't say that it was a device earlier,
Celine.
so that is new information. Celine.
Celine. I keep forgetting her name.
I know, she's not the vampire from Underworld.
Do you guys have any other questions for the trees?
Roll wisdom, every single one of you.
Eight.
7.
That looks good. I know he's a wise motherfucker. I'm thinking that's a 21. It's not. It's an attribute, my dude. Wisdom
Oh,
plus 5.
21.
That's what I was thinking it was. So you got a what,
An 8.
Joshua?
7.
So correct. You're the only one that got this. You got a who?
Mm-hmm.
What are you missing? What? When? Where?
Why?
Well, you got the where.
We kind of got the what, because that was just the shard. If maybe they could describe that more.
Exactly. What's another W?
When? Why?
Well, you
how?
didn't. You got no time frame on when this happened. It could happen 3 days ago.
Where? When? Yes.
This could have happened 5 years ago. And you guys are slowly putting together the why, but you haven't asked it why. You know, you haven't gotten its opinion on what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it's one of those things. Just like you get a lot of information very quickly, and you're just kind of like, well, that's it. We've gotten what we needed, and it's just like, no, press further.
When was the bad guy here? When did you last see him?
This would have been. How do you walkie folks measure your time?
Days? Weeks?
With the moon?
Months?
The moon is a good one if it was a long time ago.
So what is one moon to you?
When it goes from a full bright moon and then back to a full bright moon.
Yes. How many of those is that for you? What
Oh.
what amount is that?
Is that 15 days?
It's around 2 weeks.
No.
No, it's like a month.
Thank you.
Well, it's a month. I was just like, what's a month? in
Thank
this
you
universe?
for the one man who just recently got here to remember how the calendar works.
I know how the calendar works.
It's a full moon.
Yeah.
It's a lunar calendar.
Yeah.
A full moonal cycle is 1 month.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
You would have gotten that.
Mm-hmm.
You would have explained that to him.
Yeah.
1 moon. Sorry, because you wouldn't have been able to talk to him. That
Fair
doesn't
enough.
make any sense. Yeah. 1 moon is a month to you. This is many months. How many months makes a bigger amount for you?
12 months.
10.
10?
Yeah. It's 10 in this world. That's why I was like, what? How much is a month in this world? Like, is
10
it?
months in a year.
A few years ago.
Do you know why he put it in you?
Where did they touch you?
He seemed drawn to our grove's natural beauty and power. We've always been vibrant. Slowly, we've become less so. So, that energy is going somewhere. Wherever the inside of that rift he made, wherever that is, that's where he's taking it from us. The beauty of this grove, the beauty of the Evertree, the blessings of the Fae. My face used to be kissed by that of butterflies, and I haven't so much as seen a bird in a year.
This begs the question, how many locations are like this all across Pangaea?
You know, if I had to guess, there's one in Glamgar, there's one here. Probably some place of great fire or heat, maybe? That's just a guess, though.
The Undertow?
Make a nature check for me.
Whoops.
Yeah, it was canted anyways. Go ahead and re-roll it. Avoid the seam.
It's so difficult.
That's a 16.
16. Nature, 16 plus 8.
24.
24.
He kind of looks and leans in, even more so to make sure the others can't hear you, even though it doesn't matter anyways. I trust you. My roots touch that of the Evertree. It aches across Pangaea like 1,000 cuts across its root system. None enough to be evident upon itself, but it's slowly starting to become apparent.
Hey guys, we have something we could bring up at that meeting we're going to later. I've written alert Basco immediately twice, so.
Yes, I know. It's the same thing. Basco, keep an eye on this.
The Evertree is the font of druidic magic, and it is a giant, massive tree that
Starting to die.
not starting to die, but starting to be like, I'm big. Like, you know, if I go down and cut a root of a massive tree, it's not going to do anything. If I cut a lot of chunks off of the root system, it might start showing wear and tear. This is a thing where its roots stretch across a continent. A little here and there is not a lot. But it's finally starting to notice.
It's like it's been drained by millions of mosquitoes.
Precisely. But it's not just the Evertree. It's the Fae as well. It appears that there's maybe multiple targets here.
Can someone give me a quick reminder? Was there an Evertree-like object in Glamgar?
Yes.
Makes sense now.
In the caverns, there was a connection to the Evertree. There was a root system there that is kind of like why the druids like it, because it's sort of their kind of like a totem, you know, sort of like a shrine to the Evertree, and by this natural hot spring. Also, there was an area there that was touched by the Shadowfell. So a different connection.
would you be able to ask the tree if anybody else has visited here?
Has anyone else visited here recently?
No. Most have gone since the fire.
If you can, get more of a description on the shard that made the rifts and the device that made this barrier.
Could you describe the device that made the rift and the shard?
You got it.
You got roast the shard that created the rift and the device that created the shield. I got it.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a vibrant piece of almost gemstone. Like some sort of piece of ceramic art or something was broken. And it was wrapped in an area that could be grabbed. It was pulsating and glowing violently. Multi-different colors, all sorts. I didn't see him use it, but I heard it. Something like a sort of tearing, jarring. It was not good. The device, it was some sort of stone contraption carved in a certain way. It had glyphs on the side of it. Sort of like a language I've never seen before. Magic was something I'd never seen before either. I couldn't describe it. It just made a shield happen.
Mm-hmm.
But he had it like in his hand. It was about, if you opened your hand, it could fit in it like that.
What? I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. You said, oh, like what?
It could fit in your hand, like
Fit
a
in your hand.
block. It had glyphs written down the side of it in some sort of language that he had never seen before. And it just created the shield as if it were instantaneous. What happened?
I was dead when, at the time when Mac and Vasco went into that portal.
Uh-huh.
This sounds similar to an object that was in that first room they entered. But I can't make any reference to that because I was
What
dead.
object do you remember?
I remember the first room they entered, there was like a wall with a bunch of ruins that we didn't understand. I think they deciphered that it was maybe, but no, we didn't decipher that it was giant because I wasn't there. But I believe there was also a device in that room that was connected to the rift.
Yes, there was something maintaining and keeping it open and also helping keep the portal to the Shadowfell open.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I wasn't there.
Yeah. The glyphs were also part of just one being in the shadow. Some of them was just Shadowfell-ish, shit. Shadowfell is not a great place. Like, there are horrible things, carved glyphs, told God, some, shit like that.
Hellland, 50 miles.
But also, perceptually, maybe some of them also help keep the rift open. You don't know. You don't have any frame of reference. All you know is this is something else, though. That's a recognizable glyph. That was a glyph that someone did know and be like, oh, this was this language. This is something he had never seen before.
Okay. Did I already ask you where he went after?
He walked that way and then vanished.
Let me ask the other plants where he went last time. He said he came the same way. He left the same way he came.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Malin.
Classic.
Teleportation. And I'd say that'll be you got one more if you got it in you, but this is coming up on 10 minutes.
Any last question, guys?
I have nothing. This is yours.
No.
Give him a hug.
Are you actually asking him that?
No. No, not yet.
Not yet. Let
Not
me get
yet.
to know him first.
No, please. I'm very frail.
Should we help?
Do you want to be sentient for this or not?
I don't think we can take this.
Look, this
back.
is gonna end in 30 seconds. Do you want to be awake for it?
Preston, please come back. He's fucking trees.
You were a tree hugger. He's a tree fucker.
No.
You got anything for him?
I don't. I think that'll be the 10 minutes.
Will I remember this? And he just disappears.
Wow. Okay. So,
He just goes back to being a knot, a growth on a tree.
What was his name?
Oh, I never got his name.
We'll call him Franklin. Should we carve it into him?
Oh god.
Here, my name is Franklin.
The tree.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Please insert cock here.
Don't fuck me.
I did not consent to this.
Well, I think it's safe to say we need to have a conversation with the Druids.
Yeah. It's a shame it's 2 a.m. and very rude to annoy people about this stuff.
Oh, let's teleport into Basco's room right now.
Is there anybody else that you think might find this interesting or wish to discuss with?
All of the people at the world meeting tomorrow probably would like to know.
You already said that.
Yeah.
So we save that.
It's 2 a.m. You got time. One of you's only burned one spell. No, you burned alarm, so that's the first level. You've burned almost nothing. The night's young.
Want to go visit Celine?
I was about to say there's Celine and there's Basco's parents. But Basco's parents are pretty much like, they can stay there and do what they do.
Fucking hibernating, you bitch.
Besides just druids, anybody else you think might find this interesting?
What magical people do we know that care about the Evertree?
A lot of people.
Everybody.
Everyone. Brian has a slice of the effort tree.
Yeah.
I'm
French.
supposed to be telling everybody about that.
He's hinting at somebody though.
I am.
May I make a general wisdom check?
Sure. That doesn't look good.
Oh my god, I'm not getting good fucking rolls today. I will burn inspiration for this.
You were saying, my boy.
I'm gonna burn a lucky roll because I need to know. I'm not gonna use the dice tower either.
I need to know. I need to know.
So you're up to 10 so far, yeah?
You add a +3 to it. You've already added the +3. You roll the inspiration. Oh, wait, no. We've established you can't go back and make a lucky roll after having rolled the inspiration because you've already agreed to the d20.
So, yeah.
Yes.
10.
So that lucky roll did not count.
Right, if he goes back to like 4, I think
So it was 4 plus your 3 plus whatever your wisdom is. So 10?
Yeah.
Oh, not great. Not good enough to get it. But your brain does start chugging along. Yes, this is clearly important to the druids. Yes, you should know. Yes, you should teach or tell the people in the upcoming meeting. But then you think about Crench. You think about Tamlin. You think about other people in the Crench Foundation. Your brain starts churning and thinking, there is somebody out there who's an expert in everything you don't know about.
Is it the curator?
Thank you.
Is it for real?
Yes.
God damn it, we can't just ask about it. We gotta do something for him. We gotta do something for him.
I'm going to.
He doesn't know who the curator is,
Yeah.
so he can't mention that in game.
Who do you think would be the one that would come?
Now I get to torture them because now they know what the it is and they have to get there without metagaming. Go.
Alright. Can you do a wisdom check?
You could try your wisdom check to know about the
I'll give you
curator.
inspiration.
I don't need it, do I?
Probably.
Fuck, I rolled a 6.
You should have given him guidance
Alright, that's better than you so far.
because you would have been able to give him a plus a D4.
It's 13 for you.
So anytime you see someone doing shit like
16,
that,
that's good.
just be like, "Hey, I give you guidance."
I give you guidance.
It's too late now.
Yeah.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Probably the curator.
Did you communicate that?
No, this would never work. We have to do him a favor. No,
You can express that frustration. It's a viable one.
So maybe the curator probably knows more about this, but we haven't done anything for him in a while.
We don't have to do things for him. He is, concerned for the well-being of the world. Let's just ask him. I get out my sending ring. Good morning, Mr. Curator. We need your help. It's about Malin.
At 11.
He's opening more rifts. I just ended there because I have nothing else to add.
Okay, good. I thought we were gonna do something classic. Malin, help. Oh fuck. Every time.
Yeah. Is he here? As soon as you're done talking, you put your hands down, and before you, you're meeting him for the first time.
I'm here.
He's got a small, tight, kind of wiry beard, an over extravagant mustache, weird sunglasses that don't make any sense. They're kind of wired, but at the same time, like they're thicker wiring and kind of like a not quite octagonal, but not quite circular. They're just multi-edged, but a shit ton of multiple edges. He's got what is a mix between a Stetson and a top hat, and he wears weird and different mismatching patchwork kind of three-piece suits. Always a little different. He shows up before you even finish talking. Right. What's this now about Malin putting up more riffs?
Well, inside that tree right there, this is our friend Stoth. He is
Longstepper, yes, I know about him.
How old is he?
It's Stoth.
Okay. Stolf. Can I touch you?
This question. How old is he?
I don't know. I haven't been watching him.
That's our
Is
first,
that why you got me here?
that's
No,
our
no,
first
no.
question. We have 2 more.
Well, that's great because you already owe me a favor for that one.
Fuck.
I'm kidding. What do you need help with, friends?
Malin appears to be opening more rifts in this plane of existence.
More?
Yes, this tree right here, we found a rift.
More?
Well, we don't
Does it know
know.
about the first one?
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's-
Brian, once again.
That's right. You wouldn't have been able to have seen it. I'm sorry. We found a rift in Glamgar as well. That led to the Shadowfell. We closed it with the help of Basco's sister.
Celine.
I know, yes, I know Celine.
I know, I'm just saying, you can't just keep saying Basco's sister, that's like just referring people. She's got a name.
I feel like that was a wrong time to politics. Like, there's a lot going on. We've wasted so much time on this already.
Respect her.
You haven't even met her.
Women are more than objects.
I didn't say they were. Well, moving on. What do you... So what's going on now?
Malin is using an object that seems like a shard of something, and when he's using it to open these rifts in, Pangaea, like up in that tree he opened a rift, and it seems to be absorbing energy from the Ever tree that's located here. Well, the roots of the Evertree are connected to this tree
Yeah,
here.
yes, I got it. So, I feel like there's a but.
Okay, we know that there is more harm coming to the Evertree. It is not just these two portals, and you haven't seen any maybe gaps in your vision.
No, because, well, I imagine seeing how that was put in a hard-to-reach location, and the other thing was hidden in a hidden portal between two worlds, as you said, I'm going to assume they're not meant to be discovered,
Correct.
and thus would not have become any sort of public knowledge for me to know about. I see the timeline as it progresses. If it's never discovered, how would I have ever seen it?
This rift also appears to have been here for quite a while as well.
Years.
Okay. I feel like there's something here specifically that you requested from me then. Is there something else that I haven't been told about? Besides the shard?
The shard,
Then the rift?
Us.
In the force field.
the stone
Oh,
barrier.
yeah.
Oh, yes, quite. That's odd. Who did that?
Malin.
No, he didn't.
He had a stone barrier object that helped him make it.
With the glyphs.
Glyphs.
Undistinguishable language.
Undistinguishable magic, even by us.
That's not good.
What are you thinking?
He walks up to the edge and kind of flicks it. And it kind of distorts slightly.
Could we have interacted with it, or is this something he can do?
This is something he's doing specifically. Oh, shit. And you got confirmation that Malin did this, yes?
I don't know.
No! He grabs you by the throat. You must be sure. Malin did this?
The way he described it sounded just like Malin.
I don't know Mayland.
Oh, God. That's not good. Which tree was it?
This one here.
And he goes up to it. He kind of like just starts casting Speak with Plants himself. And just starts interacting with it one-on-one for a bit and then turning with you. Well, that's alarming. But not as bad as I had hoped. This magic is damn near primordial. Almost right straight to the root of Arcanum.
That's kind of the feeling I got as well.
No, you don't understand.
And that's in reference to the shard, or is it him?
The shield.
The shield is primordial. Okay.
Who could have created this?
The Praetorians. They once held vaults. This would have been something locked in one of them. This means Malin, presumably if the shard was also in a vault, Malin seems to be collecting things that were in vaults. That explains. We've known this because of Cracklin and such
Yeah.
things. I think we're slowly realizing for what purpose. But wait a minute. They would have known about it years ago. They must have found the vaults before then.
They've been,
Oh, fantastic. This, you said for years?
so they've been after these vaults far longer than we realized.
Yes.
It's actually rather lucky that we went into as many as we did.
Yes. Lucky. Coincidental.
This almost seems like the obvious question. But do we have confirmation that the Praetorians truly were killed by the Paragons in their entirety?
I saw them. Husband and wife. Slain.
Children. I don't know if Eternals can have children, but
Because if there were, this is starting to sound like our culprit.
Fellas, if I was to make a recommendation, I think we should go visit the execution site.
Probably. Do we remember where that was?
You have a map with its exact location pointed out to you.
We also know,
No, but you don't really know exactly where.
but we
You
do.
were close. You spotted that on the map when you looked at it, but the fact that you have a pinpoint map is much better than what.
We had 2 Paragon friends that were literally there.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Who?
Nesmith and Graf.
they were literally there. Probably.
Like,
Not probably. No, they were there, my dude.
if worse comes to worse, we
That
can
was their
ask them.
first job that started making them famous. Remember?
I'm sorry, there can only be 4 in a party.
Shut your mouth.
The 5 guys.
Alright. Well,
Do
you want to just go there today? We have a little time before the meeting.
Absolutely. Would you like to join us?
I think it's necessary. Yes.
Well,
Mr. Stoff, are you okay coming with us? I know that you kind of just came for help with this, but I don't want to drag you into anything you're uncomfortable with.
I'm part of the team now.
I do like his gusto, man. He's been like, let's do it. Let's save the
Gusto?
world. Gusto.
Gusto.
I go to say.
Gusto.
I'm gonna say with gusto.
Gusto.
Mucho gusto. That's how you pronounce it.
Yes. Well, without further ado, shall we get going?
Should we tell him where we're going? We're going to a desert. You're cool with that?
Outside.
No trees near there.
No, I'm going to teleport us there.
Okay.
I snuff out the fire to make sure it's burned out.
You did just start that fire.
Yeah.
No, it's been half an hour ago.
I snuff it out.
Could you?
Theoretically, I can run it out of the cactus, right? I can just go tree stride.
You're talking travel via plants. That long, you'd need travel via plants. Now, the thing is, travel via plants, you need to have been there before. It needs to be a tree you're cool with. You're thinking of tree stride,
Yeah.
which is kind of like more like a Naruto thing, where you just like walk into one tree and then come out another one 200 feet away.
I hate
Do
this
that
part.
But then even on top of that, because of the type of druid you are, you can just naturally walk through plants if you want to.
Dude, wait until I hook you up with some cactus juice.
Yeah, that's the thirst quencher. So you, it's not anywhere you're gonna be.
Okay.
Knowing about where. Well, let's hope we find just an empty vault full of missing toys. And he kind of raises his arms and then instantly, still nighttime, chillier, because you're in the desert. You have those cool desert winds at night.
Big horizon we can see. Lots of open space.
No, you're at the mountain. You're in the
Not
mountain
the
range.
mount-
You're
that's
not
right,
on the other
mountain.
side yet.
Yeah, that's right.
You're in between some ravines, and you're kind of. You look around you, and it's like you look off in the distance. You're like, that area does look familiar, but you're in an area that's just like, why would we ever naturally walk through this way when we can walk around there and walk around there? That's kind of like a natural kind of camouflage for these vaults. But after a while, you find yourself on a path. And then eventually, a wall with a door in it, similar to one you've seen before. To many you've seen before.
Well, go and open the door.
I love her. I was gonna do an investigation check to see if it seems like the door's been opened relatively
You can
recently.
give me generalized. If you want to do an investigation, you can do a perception. You do whichever one you want to do.
Sweet.
Investigation or perception, your call.
21.
You look around. You found yourself on a. After exploring an area that seemed needless to explore, you found yourself on a path that kind of weaved between mountain kind of fingers, then kind of found like a flat space on an outcropping on one of these finger outstretches of this mountain range. So you have a little bit of flat land before you kind of bump into this door that is almost blended into the mountainside itself. But on the outside, once again, are those familiar glyphs that you've seen before of an unknown language.
Dirty 20 perception.
And what'd you get on investigation? On perception?
26.
26. You both look to the ground. Kind of like in that, is this where it happened? It's impossible. It was hundreds of years ago. But you almost both laugh it off until you see on the door, on the outside of it, there's one or two defensive wounds, scrapes, as if something came out attacking. And then the other's mark is as if something was dragged in and scraped the outside.
The ring around my neck, the necklace around my neck, does that match the glyphs that are on the door? Like it did?
It does.
I turn to the curator. What does this say?
Perhaps he's like, are you fucking kidding me?
What is it?
Praetorian.
We
Okay.
found this ring in the original vault we visited.
Who did you have it? What? Who
It
had
was
the ring?
a body.
It would have been one of his servants. Some of the Eternals had mortals that volunteered servitude in the worship of Eternals.
It did seem like that vault did have a servant's quarters of sorts.
That would have been them. They would have worn this ring to let people know that an Eternal has protection over them.
At least it's not a wedding ring.
It's much worse than that, my friend.
I do.
The doors open and not locked like the other ones have been.
I do know that the language Praetorian is outside of my bounds with comprehend language.
It's a dead language.
Is there any way I could? Is there like some way I could at least transcribe it so I can figure
That
it?
is Praetorian. I'm telling you what it says.
But if I was to find it just in general, without you,
No.
All you can really do is see if you see those symbols on the ring and match it with something else. If we ever ran across it, we would never be able to read it, but at least we'd know.
I'm telling you, those words on that ring say the words Praetorian.
Oh, I see. I thought you. Okay, makes sense.
presume it'd be kind of fucked up if I put the ring back onto my necklace now that I know what it is.
What's the value of the ring? Might as well keep it.
It was kind of a grave robbing thing we did.
Doesn't.
It's also valueless because no one knows what the fuck that is or who that is or.
It had value to me.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I'll get another one that isn't grave robbed.
Just a better
I don't think you will.
Shut up.
Anyways,
There are many graves around where you grew up.
so that doesn't help
What
it.
are you talking about?
way.
Nothing. Let's go inside.
Genocide.
I mean, you're not wrong. No. But anyways, yes, I step inside.
The curator he usually leads things, but you guys are kind of like, let's go inside. And he's just like, yeah. And then he proceeds. What?
Hello?
You open the door. It's not difficult. It has no locking mechanism per se. It slides open. It's large, again, like they all have been. Probably about 12 foot tall. That kind of arch kind of works its way down. You slide the rock to the side and it kind of opens up this hidden doorway. You walk through the hallways, much like you remember, carved from stone, straight as if they just picked a spot and started carving in, just like in the other vaults you've seen. And occasionally, the words written on the ring. Are you going to join us, Thomas?
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he was reading item descriptions in his own items list.
I know, but he's also going to miss everything I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The words written on the walls, once again matching the ring around your neck, making more sense now. The walls, the glyphs say Praetorian, to let you know the vaults, these places, this is the Praetorians' home. These were areas were locked away, but technically, to the Praetorians, these were their property. And it was meant to be words of power. But with no Praetorians to defend them, between the two of them, meant nothing. You make your way forward. It's a longer hallway than usual. I was going to change it, but I'm like, no, this does fit the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's wider eventually. It opens up more. It's less utilitarian and more homely. It's almost like it was meant to be lived in. Instead of just a few thrown together rooms here and there. Kind of that appears to be one room for someone, and that's someone's room right here. Larger size, meant more for accommodations for long term rather than small stays like the ones you've seen in previous vaults. Almost like this was their home. But you continue past this area, this part that all the vaults have.
Is it dark?
Much like the other ones, it becomes lit as you progress,
Okay.
as if it was designed for. You walk past it, towards the vault that you know is at the end of this path. But as you approach, you enter once again another grand sanctum. And inside of it, several of those iron golems you saw protecting it before. The door on the far side of the vault, as you enter this kind of the open sanctum that leads to the vault, the door on the far side is open. You can't see what's inside of it. But once again, you're in another vastly large open chamber with a platform in the middle. Once again, all carved out of the mountain itself. You look down the bridge onto the platform before the bridge into the vault also has another large drop on it. Similar in design, but far more golems.
Do the golems look to be functioning?
They look more pristine than any golem you've seen before.
So whoever... I was gonna say whoever entered this vault either didn't go to the other end or somehow got to the other end without triggering.
Everything is lit. Everything's full. You're standing on the bridge way leading to the main platform. Then there's the bridge that leads to the vault. And then there's the vault. But that is where you stand right now. The room is already fully lit. Braziers run the outside. Because there is an outside wall. That's about a good 20, 30 feet away from the edges of your platform.
Wait. You used to have a key. Didn't we have a key to these vaults before?
Yep, it was in one of the bag of holdings.
I thought somebody took it. No.
I think you gave it to the curator.
Okay. I was thinking the necromancy dude took it.
Nope, you gave it to the curator.
That's right. Okay. Alright. So, do you remember how the golems turned on again? Can I run a wisdom check? It's been
You can roll a history check, my dude.
months.
I will join you.
Perfect, but I said it's gonna be accurate because I only rolled a 3.
21.
It was basically a series of switches. One switch was required to pull to drop, well, to open the door, also activated the golems. Door's already open.
Oh.
However, every vault has been different.
Yep.
I communicate that to you
Okay.
and stop. So, Mr. Curator,
There's at least 6 iron golems sitting on this platform, and a few more on the walls on the outside.
Yeah.
how do you believe we should proceed?
This would have been their home.
Yeah.
Whatever is here. I don't like that the door's open.
Yep, that's unnerving. Before we go trouncing around, maybe we should check the living areas to see if there was.
1 second.
Sure.
I'm just gonna re-up on some stuff.
Sure, nothing. Problem.
What were we gonna say, bud?
I was gonna say, should we inspect the living areas to see if there's evidence of a child?
Give me 1 second.
The child was in the vault. No, I have no idea.
You did walk past that,
Yeah.
but we can say, barring anybody else suggesting something,
Mm-hmm.
you turn around to go check before you proceed.
Yeah.
Does anybody else do anything?
We have no idea what kind of damage we might accidentally do to this place.
No. Do you want me to help you with that?
Are you doing anything?
You want to keep an eye on the vault, or do you want to help me on that?
I'm gonna keep an eye on the vault. I'm gonna see if I can do. I don't want to step into the room, but I want to see if I can get a general feel of like how the see if I can see maybe just a little bit into the vault. See what I see.
Give me a perception check, and I'm gonna resolve that before you do your thing. Come on, fuck it up.
That is a 12. Arguably, it'd be hard to see anyway.
All the golems look dormant. There's some sort of case of some kind, display case, in the vault, but it's impossible to see inside. It seems to actually be quite a few.
What did you do with that gear you took from the golem?
Traded it away to
Yeah.
someone in. I think you told it to the enchanted anvil, didn't you?
No, I thought I took it. Did I take it to the animal, or did I give it to
You gave it to.
Nuru?
Did you give it to Nuru, or did you give it to Nathaniel? Or Naslin?
That's gonna be a hard one to find in my notes.
That's not important. He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it.
Yeah. Alright. What did I roll for?
Alright. You don't roll for anything. Soft, you're just kind of there on the.
Yeah. Taking them all in.
Da-da.
Well, this is all very new for you.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn around to start going, the door closes in front of you.
Oh.
Hmm.
The door of this chamber is closed now.
Yes.
Way to go.
Okay.
And then you hear
Inside the door.
You hear echoing throughout the room. You came this far? Least you can do is proceed.
I don't recognize that voice, probably.
Do you recognize that voice? Curator.
Did we hear the voice? Even
Yes.
though He's on the other side of the door?
I'm
No.
not.
Oh,
no.
He didn't leave. The door closed
Like,
before
I
he could
turned
leave.
around and it was like-
okay.
Basically.
Okay.
It's impossible. They were killed. I saw them die. He looks around. Show yourself! I knew your mother and father! And before you, jumping down, hidden in a compartment in the ceiling nobody's seen so far, a 12-foot-ish, maybe under that, about 10.5-foot tall,
They're fucking huge. I thought they were small.
giant. Almost every part of him is covered with a chitin that looks almost naturally reinforced. It's almost like moving earth. Just rock, but it's chitin armor. His fingers do not wrap around the hand like this, but are almost more circular around the base of his palm. His face is kind of like the Arbiter from Halo. It's disconnected from a jaw. It's, kind of sliced here.
It's like a locust.
Very similar to that. He has a natural crown made of art growths in his chitin armor that surround him. His arms are kind of hooked as if they were, like his fingers are kind of hooked as if made by plate mail itself. On top of all of that, he is wearing a large set of plate mail that appears to be very custom built. I want you two to roll history.
Advantage. No.
Oh,
That's better.
18.
13.
A long time ago, Cracklin was searching a vault, and you found a plaque. Well, no, not a plaque. You found a piece of furniture designed to be something to hold armor, almost as if it were in a display case. That armor was roughly the size and shape that that man is now currently wearing.
I relay that information.
You don't. No.
There's no time.
What are you talking? I'm cutscening here. I'm trying to help you. His eyes don't really. They are black, but in behind them is like an orange glow. As he kind of stares and approaches. His feet are much like that of like what you'd expect, like a T-Rex, but it's two prongs forward on his forward and one on back. So he's got like pronged, clawed feet. And he just starts approaching you over, kind of meeting in the middle ground between the vault. Few hundred years ago, your people slaughtered my mother and father, thinking them beasts. Now I'm here to slaughter the real beasts.
Is that us?
The curator's like, I didn't know, and he's just like, SILENCE! And slashes his hand out, and the curator just disappears entirely.
Okay, so we can do magic things.
The curator is kind of like, "Nah!" and then is gone. Completely gone. Fizzled out of existence as you know it.
We're not here to harm you,
You tread on my birthplace.
to look for you.
Look for loot. And he gestures. My father locks him away to protect you all. Because you want to be trusted with them. The day they took my parents from me is the day I started using them as the tools for your destruction. Malin! And then Malin kind of rips through a portal and walks out in front of you in his distorted true form. Almost actually larger than he is.
He's bigger than 12 feet now.
His true form was 20 feet tall now, remember?
That's
When he
right.
absorbed the power of the Wand of Orcus.
Yeah.
And he kind of They're both at the halfway point on the platform in front of you, but they're not approaching. You've met my champion.
That's a Victorian talking.
Yes.
Okay. Yup, we have. So you're the one feeding the lies.
What lies would that be?
That when there's enough damage done to this world, it'll all go back to the way it was.
The curator told you that, yes? Just like how many other lies he told you?
I believe Maybelline even told us that.
No, the fact that it's a lie.
Oh, that bit.
It's really great when you guys miss the whole point of what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because the villain would absolutely explain himself twice.
Yeah. I mean, that is what he told us. You're not wrong.
How many lies has he spread? How many truths has he untold? Did he tell you my father was simply the guardians of the vault?
He told me they were the creators. I'm sorry, but we do know that we're fairly certain we know that they built these things.
That's what I just said, though.
Yeah. The Guardians is different.
Yeah, Guardians make it sound just like Protector, not like.
They created the vaults to protect the items that were inside of
okay,
them.
so okay.
They invented the concept of it. If they call themselves guardians, that's the term they picked.
Okay. So
It's still like, that's being like, did he tell you banana daiquiris were my only power? And he's like, he said you invented banana daiquiris. He's like, I'm trying to kind of extrapolate here. There's a lot going on.
yeah.
He kind of turns around and looks to you. My father was the host of the Primordial Arcanum. We're the original font of arcane magic on this planet.
There's no way. There's no fucking way that exists that we're gonna see them. Can I insight this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to insight this as well.
Yeah.
So what's your concern exactly?
Whatever
That they
his
are
concern-
actually
Damn.
the original arcane font of this planet. That just seems. Well, from the perspective of us, it's like, nah, there's something else. There's no fucking way. But like, maybe.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 13.
Oh, that's good. I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 1, so
You get to re-roll that.
okay.
Hope you get an nat 20, because everybody else thinks
Oops.
that's not good.
That is not good. Get it out here. 7 plus 11, 18.
How the fuck would you know?
True that.
He seems to believe it. He turns to all of you. Do you need examples?
I mean, we have the barrier, but I think it's better if we let's just talk it out. There's no reason to.
He looks to you and kind of holds in hand like that, and the two fingers on opposing sides reach together and snap in like by splitting themselves sideways and both sides hitting the palm at the same time. And then as soon as he does it, the room itself is entirely engulfed in flames. It doesn't appear that any sort of effort was put into it at all. Doesn't seem like any coaxing from Arcanum. It's just, I want this room to be on fire, and now it is. And then he looks.
Druidcraft to put it out.
You can put out a small fire.
Okay.
It's not hurting anyone.
Okay.
It surrounds the room. There's no source of it either, because the ground is rock. And then just as soon as he does, he turns to you and it stops. I assure you I didn't even need to snap my fingers. Your paragons came to my footsteps looking the edge of their world and found horrors beyond their comprehension. Instead of stopping, instead of learning, like my father gave them the credence for, he thought they'd meet them. He thought they'd discuss open arms. He thought the beginning of the unfurling of the rest of the world was about to happen. That this was the beginning of the next step. They didn't meet him. They didn't talk to him. They killed him. Because they saw me, what we looked like, and assumed we were monsters. My mother rushed an attack, and they slayed her instantly. I watched from the doorway, sealed it shut, and plotted my revenge.
The man who committed that, Mardakath, I agree with you. The atrocity he forced his own group to commit upon you is awful. Within the lore of our own world, they were heroes, but that lore has changed. This man, I point to Korvac, was the one that killed Mardakath. We don't come to harm you. We've come to investigate into this, because there's a lot of unanswered questions. I know, to be honest with you, our questions have kind of been answered, but...
Kind of starts pacing around. You sad, puny being. You shouldn't even exist. It was my father and powerful beings like him that gave you all a second chance. The rest of the Eternals are scattered, disconcerted, uncaring. It's over. You had your second chance, and you ruined it. Now, like the beast you are, I'll burn you down, and we'll start over.
Alright. Can I insight? Does he have any ounce of mercy in him?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we can even save this situation. I doubt it with Malin here.
14.
You barely fought Malin with an army by your side.
I know.
This is Malin and an Eternal.
You can see why we're trying to talk the Eternal out of this.
What'd you roll, bud?
14.
11.
You want me to roll on this?
Yeah, if you
You
want to
can
roll insight to see if this man has mercy in his heart.
Okay. That's a 13. So that's a 24.
This man was hidden from the world.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew he existed. The rest of the Eternals assumed there was just two of them. Not even other Eternals knew of him. The entire time he grew up on stories his father told him of the goodness of humanity and elves and life and sentience and dwarves and coming together and giving life a second chance. And on how they reshaped the world to give living beings another chance. And the first time a living being found an Eternal, they killed it. And he's had over a century and a half to stool on it and plan revenge. And from what you can tell, he's about a good chunk of the way through his plan already. No.
No ounce.
This man has no mercy. This man is vengeance incarnate. The fire inside him is that to see you to be destroyed. He turns and starts walking to all of you. I've planned hundreds of years. Maybe 100 and change. You're supposed to move to the next phase of life. Move hand in hand with us. Now I take great pleasure in exterminating your race. All of your races. And he kind of starts stepping towards you all.
On that note, I am going to use teleport to teleport us to safe location, Crunch's castle.
You use your 7th level teleport.
Mm-hmm.
It's counterspelled inherently.
Inherently. Okay. Yeah, I figured he wasn't gonna let us walk out of here.
Can I use Wall of Stone to create a buffer between us?
You absolutely do. One shoots out of the ground in the platform. Make sure you burn
Yeah.
that spell slot. And he walks through it as if it were water flowing. And it doesn't even stop him for a second.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
new ability we've learned.
Jesus.
And he kind of slowly just starts walking closer.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stand in front of
My
this.
father taught the world.
Just in the background like this.
I'm getting out of here. My father taught the world the tricks you're using against me. I've mastered them. Do you have anything else you'd like to try?
This is not a fight we want to do, correct?
No, I mean not if.
Especially since a level 7th and a level 5th,
Yeah.
6th has already been burned.
Alright, folks, well, I already get the answer to this. I wish we were back at Crunch's castle.
Oh, you weren't just going to use Wish to cast Teleport? Alright, you can do that. You wish yourself back at Crinch's castle. I like that. Go ahead and roll the D100.
Wait, can I give him that thing you were telling me about? Does that work?
This is a D100.
Oh, okay.
Hey! 76! You still can wish stuff. Hey!
Oh.
If he rolls less than 30, he can no longer use Wish to cast wishes. He can
Oh.
only do the other stuff with it.
Wow.
Instantly, your party is teleported. The 3 of you inside Crinch's castle. And no one's there.
What time is
God
it?
damn it! So that second of relief and was just like, where are we?
Roll a wisdom check.
Please.
12.
Blow everything. Get out of here.
Somebody else wants to make a wisdom check.
Yeah.
I'm rolling with +2s with my wisdom, so.
17.
12.
Wait, no. Wisdom, my bad. That's a 9. 11.
You rolled an 11?
No, I don't
I,
know.
it's a 6 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, an 11.
12.
I got a 12.
Wow. Great wisdom, guys.
What are wisdom shots?
You're standing in the study, alone, quiet. Walls are empty. And then Crumb pokes his head in the door. Master Mac, are you not with them at Brian's?
Oh, thank God, that's right.
You guys were at Brian's that night. They're still at that hotel.
I hate to do this to him, but can you contact Crunch and ask him to come back here immediately?
I mean, Mac, I know he's seen us, but like, he's a terrifying dude, but like, we're away. We're safe. Right?
Are we?
I could go for some beers.
I would like to.
I could go for some beers. What a great turn. Should we go? Let's just go to Brian's.
Yeah, let's just go.
You know what?
He's right.
Staff is right. Let's just go to Brian's. Can we teleport to Brian's, please?
Please use the teleporter. You all look like ghosts.
Yeah, I imagine Cormac
Are you
is
alright?
sweating and probably shaking a little bit.
Do you want to send to the curator?
Yeah, I'll do that. I imagine he's watched us leave, but I'll just double check. I send to the curator. We escaped.
Oh crap. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah.
Continue.
We escaped. We are meeting with Crinch at
Bryant. Are you all right? I'm not sure if he just dispelled your image.
I don't know if he'd be powerful enough to destroy the curator outright. But that's
Or-
a good question to
Or,
ask.
or flare back something.
They're both Eternals.
Yeah,
Eternals have killed Eternals before.
yeah,
Malin has killed an Eternal.
yeah.
In response, all you hear is this.
In return?
Yeah, static. That's not normal when it fails, right?
No. If it fails, it just nothing happens.
Static. I have some buzzing in my head. I don't hear the curator's voice.
And on that, we'll take a break, and we'll come back.
Yes, I think that would be wise because I'm getting cold.
Can you hit the B right back?
What convinced me to use Wish as opposed to a 9th level teleportation? Because I'm like, he can't stop Wish, but he could.
If you had used Wish to cast Teleport, you would have gotten past it, is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Not 9th level teleportation. If you used Wish to cast the teleportation spell, that would have gotten past it as well. You didn't have to wish to go back to his house. However, that worked as well.
It's the emergency in my head. I'm like, I have to go with what the sirens in my
Dude
head
just
say.
walked through a stone wall.
We also may have accidentally taught him Wish, so.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I that was a fight. I'm
He
like,
is Wish.
Yeah.
He's walking Wish.
Yeah.
He's Wish incarnate. Now we're unmuted. Welcome everybody. Well, great timing. I'm gonna sit down and then we can get that open. That way we're not. Hey, everybody, look at my ass.
That's how you get the views.
That's how I get the followers.
Return customers.
Oh, it's just water.
It's just water.
All right.
Water, Mr. Lock.
Get yourself situated, then uncover that. Josh, can you go grab my phone from the love seat, please? Or the coffee table. It's somewhere over there.
This dice tower's
I
broken.
come back, it's just like, this is
What'd you say?
This isn't a phone, it's a coaster.
What are you doing? Alright.
Yugi.
I do love the part where Yugi fights Dio.
Get myself re-up. Make sure everybody's watching. Get those views up. A moment of respite. It's raining. It's late at night. You're not at death's door. You're outside Brian's. Not you. He's at my house. In the real world. Go there now. You'll find them. You all take a moment. Collect yourselves. It's chilly, so it's hard to get color back in your face. It's late, especially for slow season like this. But when you have Crinch and his party and gang hanging out, it's gonna be a late night. And you can tell it's not even winding down yet. You collect yourselves, you step inwards, and you're once again at his bar in Brian's.
Is it just the same? Is there anybody in there that isn't part of the Crunch group?
There's a few random adventurers here and there. They've gathered a little bit of the people here. It's not massive, but there's probably about 4 or 5. You get the sense that no one bothered is, everyone's kind of coming down here and with the commotion about, and Crinch is putting on a good face.
I go up to Crunch and I whisper in his ear. Hey, we just met the Eternal that's helping Balin.
He kind of looks to you and turns a ghostly white. Explain.
We were investigating the rift that was opened when Mr. Longstepper took us.
Stop.
And we kind of drew some conclusions. Mr. Stoff spoke with the tree, and the tree gave a very apt description of Malin. So the curator came to us, and he spoke with us for a little bit about it, and then we made a decision that it'd probably be a good move to go check out where the Praetorians were killed by the Paragons.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to go visit there, and the child of the Praetorians is the Eternal that's helping Malin.
Crinch looks to Brian, gives him a nod. And Brian,
well, everybody, that's it for the night. Everybody out.
and no one in the Crinch Foundation moves at all. And then, the other people in the room are just kind of like, oh. and then they get up and leave. The other bartender, God, what was his name was Gary, right? Oh, God. I think it was Gary. I'm going to just move on.
Mm-hmm. It's a new guy every week.
No, it wasn't. It was like, oh, he had a new guy. I don't know. I'm not really too concerned about it.
Okay.
But if we correct ourselves down the line, we can. He starts cleaning up the place. Brian kind of stays in counsel of you guys.
What's this all about, Crinch? Well, Do you have more to go on? What did you see? What did he do? What happened? How are you sure he's an Eternal?
He fits the description of the Victorians. He can manipulate magic in like a primal way that nobody else can. He walked through a stone wall. He created fire with no effort.
The curator seemed to confirm it as well, but I will say we lost contact with him. We don't know what's happened to him.
Curator. Static?
Static.
Not great.
What do you think happened to him?
He never was actually here. You know that, right?
Right.
He's simply a hard-light construction. He exists in his outer pocket dimension, as he created for himself. We can assume the static is him trying to reach us. But it's just distorted. So that means at the best he's alive. I imagine this man is strong, but in that domain he is a god. And as long as he remains there, he will remain that. So I don't think we have anything to worry about in that department.
He'll get back to us as soon as he can.
If he can.
Another thing I would like to forewarn. So he seems to be able to cast magic with almost just ease. He can cast really powerful magic without even doing any, movement or saying anything. He said that he is the Praetorians were the ones that almost brought magic to Pangaea, to this plane of existence.
Well, at least Arcana.
Yes, sorry. I don't know what this means. I tried to teleport us out, he immediately stopped it. So, in an absolute moment of emergency, I cast Wish in front of him and Malin.
If what he says is true, he would have already known Wish. And from what it sounds like he can do, he appears to be a walking Wish anyways.
This is true. Had barring everything else failed up until this point, this fighting him kind of would have been, because he uses Wish.
I figured that was a TPK moment.
Can't cast magic, got one fire against a very armored creature.
The other thing we found, barring everything that just happened with the child of the Praetorians, we have definite confirmation that Malin's been opening rifts in places of power across Pangaea.
We know he's opened them in two places where the roots of the Evertree touch. And the Evertree has, well, we've heard the Evertree is in pain. And it's...
You can confirm this?
I turn to Brian. We're all in safe hands here, but I have to ask the question. Is there anything unusual about your tree, Brian?
You know there is.
I'm concerned if he might be using your fonts of power as well.
You're more than willing to look.
Same with you, Crunch. I know it's safe in the castle, but I don't know what means he has to draw from.
Question. Brian? Do animals seem to avoid the inside of the walls? Like, no animals whatsoever, rodents or anything.
No.
So they're here.
I don't want to endorse rodents being in my establishment, but I can most assuredly tell you there's no.
You're a very clean animal.
Yes, thank you, Mark. But, that, from what I can tell, was that more the rift? Or was that the shield? Or what was doing that?
I came to the conclusion anyways that it was the rift because it siphoned life itself. Animals would instinctively try to avoid
such a danger?
I don't know. You boys, oh, should I look? Should we look? Is that what we should do right now?
I mean, we're here. If there's no harm in it, we could just take a look around.
No, of course not.
He takes you out to the back room, opens the secret hole into the tree itself, descends downward through the spiral staircase into the heart of the roots of the tree that is the foundation for this building. And there, you find the dead body with the heart that has the root of the Evertree going through it. That was his former master. That is now the, foundation of the magic here. You both can make an Arcanum check, or if you'd like to make an investigation check instead.
Yeah.
You can make whatever check. You can make it Nature, Arcanum,
Would I be able to make
Investigation.
nature?
Instead of what did I suggest for you?
Arcanum.
Arcanum.
Yeah, you can make it Nature instead.
28.
12 on
On
investigation.
Nature, Arcanum, or what?
You
Invest.
pick Investigation.
Alright, nature.
What'd you get?
That is a 20.
Not 20 or just a 20?
Dirty 20.
It's vibrant. This is new. You've never seen this before. You're taken in awe of the mix of arcane eldritch influences and also nature. You've never seen this before and kind of are taken back by it, and that's kind of why this tree has such weird growth and famous aspects to it. However, you, with your higher role, know that the beginning signs are here. It's hidden somewhere within this room.
God damn it. Beginning signs.
It only became recently known because one of you spoke the beams.
Guys, I have a feeling it's in here.
I do too.
He kind of starts carving into the dirt, and inside he finds a small rift in a hollowed out part of the earth that someone had compacted dirt around.
Well, I know Max tapped.
French reaches out and 9th level dispels it and takes care of it.
Okay, that was what I was going to ask you to do. Very good.
Very good.
Very good.
My work here is done. I don't even know when that could have happened. So how long has that been there?
Not long from what we can tell.
I hope you're right. What's on your mind, lad?
Stoth, maybe you can get an exact date. Could you ask the tree?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about this. I didn't even think about this.
Please burn me down. This man has kept me alive against my will.
Alright. Speak to trees.
Yeah.
Speak with plants.
Speak to plants.
Alright.
Speak to plants.
Such a control.
Now you've cast this already today, yes? Yeah, got it. What happened?
Such a good druid.
On top of it, you cast the magic. Once again, a burst of energy spreads out 30 feet around you. The roots start moving. But as there is no great place to anthropomorphize this plant, the skeletal remains that are infused
Fuck. I knew this.
with the plant turns to you and the jaw starts
Jesus,
moving.
I'm sorry, Brian. Not you, friend.
This
God,
was
did you-
his former master.
Oh my
This is the
God.
wizard druid hybrid that awakened him.
Did you cast like speak with dead? What the fuck?
The roots grow through me. I am as much the tree as the tree is me.
Okay, can we all hear this or just him?
Just me.
Everybody can.
Oh,
Because this is a special dude.
Yes. What was that? A few weeks ago, some sort of winged, breasted, plated monster man carved a hole in reality in my roots and hid it. Why?
Can't store my pen. Oh, wait, no. In my pocket.
It's always easy to blame your cats.
Just figure everybody's right. Don't give them a chance to catch up.
He asks why.
To draw power from you.
Is this what I've been feeling?
Do you feel like you've been growing weaker?
Not me, but the world. It's not just the tree.
There's brief flashes through your minds of other locations. It's hard to place them. Fire. Primordial fire growing, overflowing in a pot is one of them. You flash to a sort of spherical astro, like, you know, those astrical spheres of like several spheres spinning around inside of them. You get a brief image of that. You get a few clockwork gears. You get flashes of jade. You get a brief glimpse of Vecna, but it fights back, and then that fades away. Vecna's a very, very, very powerful evil witch that was resurrected again.
Whoopsies.
Yep.
He's like one of our side hustle bosses.
It's not
Just the ever tree. He's sticking from everywhere.
So I've guessed right.
Do you know how to stop them?
Stop the man. Stop what he's doing. I'm still just a man in a tree. Who are you who has found me and has brought me? Means to speak again. My name is Stoth. It is good to meet you, Stoth.
and like a very vine thickened like skeleton kind of wraps its hand around.
You look like a good lad. I think we would have been friends.
I'd like to think so.
Thank you for helping me. Is there anything else we can do? For our time has grown short.
How is Brian looking?
Give me an insight check.
19.
It's dark in this room, as it is mostly candlelight. And occasionally the light flickers over his eyes, and you can see how moist his eyes are as he's silently weeping to himself.
It's gonna sound really weird for me to say this. In the best power possible, I'm going to go over and comfort and hold him.
precious time with this spell. Could you all give me my final minutes so that I may speak to my old friend?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. You guys make your way up the stairs, and like you hear it very weak, like.
Oh my God!
Baby boy, do you still want a banana? And he kind of, through magic, you can see him briefly grow a banana from one of his tree veins. And then a silent sob, and then the door closes behind you.
I turned to stop. So how about one of those beers you wanted?
Yeah.
You got French walks behind the bar and just starts cracking open beers, and the bartender kind of looks up from his mop and then just immediately looks back down and starts mopping again. Like
He gets it.
he's like, I'm not gonna tell that guy he can't do that. If a man dressed like that walks back there, he knows that he's allowed to do it.
I walk over to the bartender. I'm like, probably. I give him 500 gold.
He's just audibly limping now, like.
Nope.
No?
No, not at all.
He can hold all that.
Give me a perception check.
Fuck.
Dirty
I got the-
20.
I got the worst number.
Says.
He kind of put it in a small pouch.
Oh.
But it's made it all the change disappear, but it's not big enough to be a bag of holding.
Ah, coin purse of holding.
Yes, they make them for service personnel. You just dump your tips in them and they just disappear, no jingle janglies. They haven't heard what you've made so far. That's the slogan.
Ah.
And he goes back.
I've always heard if you're in that industry, walk of a limp, they tip more.
I work in a place with a giant gorilla. The tips come themselves, my friend. Also, have you seen the snakes he's got outside?
Yeah.
What the ogres are for.
It's not just the ogres. He pile drives those suckers on there.
Oh, I know. I once fought him in a fight. And he
Why'd
beat-
you say that so sexually? Oh, I know.
We once fought. I waited him once in a fight. He beat me pretty good. I was a T-Rex at the time.
I think I remember hearing about that. Crunch. So, a lot to discuss. Son of a Praetorian, Eternal. Go on. Fill the gaps, please. What else don't we know?
So we now know the Eternal that is helping Malin. So the questions unanswered are is
Why the rifts?
exactly what are they trying to do?
Isn't it obvious? They're harvesting energy more than just life. I thought it was just life, but
Yes, you beautiful man. But what are they going to use that energy for?
killing people probably.
No, it's worse than that. It's what he doesn't have control over already. Arcana. Nature, Warlock, Fae, Eldritch.
Music.
Huh?
Music.
Precisely. He's tapping into everything he can't already naturally.
We already made that decision. This is something we definitely need to bring up at that world meeting we're going to. And
Yes,
Yes.
quite. I believe you're right.
Yeah, let's maybe not make the mistake of trying to do everything alone this time. Who else can dispel at such power?
Vasco.
Most of the wizards in the spire.
I mean, it's probably gonna be dangerous if we just send them, but
Is it too late? How long? You said years. He's just making himself apparent now. What if he's already done what he's needed?
Would you say he made himself apparent, or we just got lucky? I looked at Stoth when I said that.
What do you think?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. Luck has to play into it.
We know he's made a dimension for Malin to hide. He could have made one for himself. If he wished not to be found, he would have not been found, yes? This was his declaration of intent. This was him letting us know what he plans on us. And from what you said, it was eradicate us.
Inside the vault, there was a room behind the room we were in, clearly where the vault was. I tried to get a look in there, but I couldn't see very well into it.
We can imagine those are some of the first items he grabbed. Presumably something that makes shields and something that rips a hole.
You can also presume that he's already moved them.
Precisely. Korvac,
Yeah.
penny for your thoughts. Sorry, copper for your thoughts.
Copper.
French token for your thoughts.
I don't feel like we can just face him head on.
Obviously.
He's been doing a lot of damage to us.
I know.
We need to start striking back.
What was the name of the satellite again? Vasco used to speak with him.
Vincent.
Often. Vincent, thank you. How we can ask Vincent to look for that army again. We can send people to dispel those things, just to buy us some time until we can figure out what we're gonna do with this.
You've been alone for a long time. What did it do to your mind? If you had spent that time not in tranquility, not in serenity, not at peace, not doing what you loved, if you had spent that time alone, filled with anger, filled with hatred, filled with sadness, what sort of man would Stoth be?
An angry one. A vengeful one.
What would you do?
Learn everything I needed to learn.
To do what?
Justify my revenge.
And then you would execute it?
I have to. Yes.
You'd have to. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't let someone else know. The chance to stop it. We can assume he thinks he's already beaten us by declaring himself to us.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time somebody's done that.
It wouldn't be the last time they were wrong.
Remember, the men that you discussed that of, were his. We were just in phase 2 of the attack. Now we're in phase 3. It's at this time Brian walks in, kind of in his big old monkey paws. What did I miss? He turns to you and just mouths the word thank you.
You alright, big fella?
Oh, Mark, I've always been alright. Tonight I'm great.
We were just discussing how to proceed with our new findings. We've come to the conclusion they think they've already won.
And here we stand, Alive. Happy. Celebrating. He cracks open a beer for himself. You have a summit to get to tomorrow.
Today.
Yes. You'll discuss things with them. You'll change the course of history again. All of this. I'm sure against the wishes of the man who thinks he's already beaten you. The best way to beat a man who thinks he's beaten you is to live on every day as if you couldn't care at all what he had to say.
Wise words.
But you know the face of your enemy now, which has been your one disadvantage your entire time. The fight's an uphill battle from here, but at least you can finally see it.
Yeah, that's true.
Count your allies, count your friends, put your affairs in order.
Which reminds me that I didn't think this would blow up like this, but I do have people I need to meet tonight.
A matter of family. It's funny. The world's about to blow up, and the world's about to put a crown on a new king. But you're more concerned about the two people you have at home, don't you?
It's been itching on my mind for several days now.
Is Maxine here? No.
At this point, oh wait, no. Yeah, we can say the entire bar has the rest of the Cringe Foundation. I said it a bit earlier. Cringe joined you downstairs, but yeah, everybody's there. Maxine is there. Sorry about that.
Haven't thought of anything now. Just double checking.
I was gonna say.
This was thinking more in the future for when he's doing his thing.
Well, okay, yeah, but I don't think we're gonna do it today.
I'm also here, Cormac.
Well, I mean, that we're not worried about when he's doing his thing. His thing's a day away from now.
Yeah, we have a huge meeting to get to. Well, I can't remember his name.
What are you looking for, bud?
The King of Bismuth.
Harrion.
Harrion, thank you. Which I've been thinking.
We modify his memory and use him to our whim.
No, why do you say things like this?
You know, the thing that was done to him beforehand?
Yeah.
Make him our thrall.
What's on your mind, Cormac?
I'm thinking, let's make Harrion the Emperor.
Are we gonna call it an emperor?
I think an Emperor is fair. And then, like we have been before, have the council to balance the power, and it would be the other leaders. I think that's the simplest form.
Now, why do you think Harrion?
He's grown. He's not just accepting. What's the word?
And
Council.
And let's be fair. It's never good to have a king sit in another man's kingdom.
As much as he'd like to say that he could handle it, I know his ego will eventually eat at him.
It would happen to any man.
Mm-hmm.
Any man.
As much as I love to hear that he was accepting that, it is at least better than what he used to be.
And of course, if he does end up being a tyrannical dictator, we'll just behead him.
We'll put a council behind him,
Exactly.
which is what Korvac was saying.
Like Privence was saying, something to keep the balance. In the end, we'll all have communications with each other, and I don't think a tyranny is possible.
I believe those are wise words, Korvac.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in charge.
Yeah.
If the population or the grand representation of such can just vote against what he said.
Exactly. He may have the power to knee-jerk react, but that's what we need.
Exactly. That's the point of an executive power.
Mm-hmm.
Good. We've put our mind at ease at that.
Mm-hmm. And then we can...
April kind of stirs her wine and kind of looks around. what point are we planning on going to bed this evening? I know the world's presumably on fire, but it will be equally so when we wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
And we all have a busy day. Quincy's kind of starts yawning, and Clavdak is just like,
I'm gonna take him to bed.
that's not him.
I'm gonna take him to bed. I'll see you all tomorrow.
And he picks Quincy up and walks him away and disappears to Grinch's castle.
Sorry, every time I hear about it, carrying somebody through the doorway, I can always imagine like the head hitting the frame.
He didn't go through the doorway. He teleported to Grinch's castle, which is hovering above you all.
Okay.
He has his own room. Why would he stay there?
No, I got that, but I thought you had to be outside. Okay.
He's better than you.
Ah, fuck. Crunch, come on.
Well, unlike using... What I mean is, unlike using that ability, he's using his own power. But
Okay.
because he has the blessing of French, he can teleport into it.
Gotcha.
You don't have any means to naturally do that yourself.
Nope.
I look to Korvac. Would you like me to carry you up to Korvac's Grinch's castle?
Good fucking luck.
Ultimate question for Mac. Which room is he staying in? The one that French provides, or the one that Brian provides? Which patron do you bed down with?
Both.
I spent 4 hours sleeping in Brian's room that he's given to me, and 4 hours in the one French has given to me.
I'll stay with Brian.
It is a much more luxurious and open and large room and nice, rather than the
Would you like
almost
to stay
military
with me?
style.
He's got the best room in the house.
Oh, you guys thinking slumber party?
I
But
cast.
the thing is, he's got the best room in the house.
I
He
cast.
does, yes, absolutely.
I cast Featherfall onto Korvac, and I go to pick him up.
Would that work?
It technically stops when you hit the ground, doesn't it?
Jump!
Jump! Wait a minute.
Tinter's floating. No, that even wouldn't work.
Well, the thing is, it's like, if you go by those logics, then it's just like, just be on stilts and you're forever light.
That's not true, because you're standing on stilts.
Right, so effectively, if I'm standing on Mac, it's the same thing.
Which, no, I'm disagreeing. I'm saying the opposite. You're not falling at all. You're standing on something. You're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
You can't cast Featherfall.
Yeah.
All I know is this. So you're all trying to stay in Brian's room.
Yeah.
That in his place.
Yeah.
Is that where you're trying to bed down in?
Yeah, wherever there's room.
Nice.
Well, that
move.
makes sense because you're new to Crinch's thing. So like, yeah, he probably wouldn't just let you sleep in his room.
The door locks on the outside.
French kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "We have a lot to discuss sometime. But currently, I also need to go to sleep and fuck my wife."
Can I fuck your wife?
He's like, "Look, buddy, sometimes we've taken part in orgies and that happens, but if you ever ask me that question again, I will dislocate your jaw and hand it to you."
Damn it!
It's like my stepmother in some weird way.
Kind of is, yeah. Also, this man, have you ever seen The Umbrella Academy?
Yeah.
This man is built like number one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That is, he has a, I won't say what his strength is, but it is a very large number, and it is above 20.
Okay.
You know how they do it out in the woods?
He's
You
also
can't
a
ju-
wizard, though, so his intelligence is also over 20.
I don't know how they do it in the woods, but you can't ask people to fuck their wives. Well, I do know a town where you can do that. But typically,
Certain
you can't.
people like, we're going to bed.
Good night.
Max just kind of like, well, I'm gonna go back to your mother. This was a fun night out, but she's not at the castle. She's back at your castle.
You don't want to join us for the slumber party?
I'm your father, son.
Yeah, and we're the same age now.
Yeah, all right. I'll need this then. And he kind of like just leans over the bar and just grabs like a bottle or something. Like, let's go, hanging out with the boys. And then they all make their way up to the to your executive suite.
It's like fucking Goldilocks, really, really, really big fucking bed, medium-sized bed, and 2 small beds.
Oh, it is a big fluffy bed, but there's also tons of like pillows everywhere and those soft mattresses that you can put on the ground and lay on. There's tons of just fluffy, nice extra things in this room. And it is, not a lot of furniture in there, so it's easy to kind of rearrange everything so everyone has something comfy and enough blankets to sleep in.
Drop a bag of weed onto the table.
Oh yeah, your father starts fucking making some rolls. Things start getting passed around.
I love how Max turned into the weed guy now.
I have to be.
No,
I mean, well, we got
I'll bring
skunk ape.
I'll bring the mushrooms.
So here's the thing. Basco's father is a furball druid who basically has his own plot of land in the Feywild that he grows weed in.
Nice.
And he just teleports to the Feywild and grabs weed and comes back and he's like, I've got every strand. I've got everything. And everybody's like, where do you grow this? And he's like, I grow in the Fey.
My argument is, I have the bag of holding. Basco never technically removed his stash. So.
Exactly.
Oh my god, you stole his shit.
Yeah, 100%.
It's funny, he would have.
How many times would he would just drop that bag of holding and you know it?
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't be like, oh fuck, that's in there. You know that's not the type of person he was.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's no dead bodies in it anymore.
This time.
The peg strangulation.
Exactly. Max starts, Senior starts passing this around to you. And
I use my mercury, my jar of mercury, to make a gravity bong.
That's complicated, is it not?
that
Sounds complicated.
I would say that it's complicated, but I would also say it's not overtly complicated because it is really.
I think I need to roll for it.
I do as well. I'm trying to determine what. Your intelligence is low, is it not?
Yeah. My sleight of hand's good.
Make it a charisma saving throw.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Yeah. You goddamn right he makes a gravity bong. He makes the goddamn best water-based gravity bong. It's the thing that Seth Rogen used to get high that one time. It's just 2 rotating chambers on a pivoting axis filled with water.
When we were smoking weed with Sad Nesmith, this is something I kind of thought up.
One of the god items that were bequeathed to them was the bubbling vat of mercury. And it's basically he can reach into it at any point. It's not going to burn him. He just has to think about what he's trying to make, and it will make it. So if he needs a sword, it's a sword. If he needs a flute, it's a flute.
Mm-hmm.
If he needs a replica of a halibut, that's what it is.
He needs Picard's flute.
Show me Picard's flute! It's basically anything that's simplistic.
Yeah.
And that's simplistic enough that I'll allow it.
Damn. It just kind of puts the arc in his.
I'm like,
One of their passives, not the Arcanist,
Alchemist?
well,
Artificer?
Artificer, the Artificer to shame a little bit because it's like one of their things. It's like, in an hour I can build any tools that I need.
you know what they say about...
That's the kind of the point of it. It's just like, I need a lockpicking set. And like, bam! That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
why it's a god item.
You know what they say about us halflings? We know how to smoke some fucking weed. And I start packing it.
Yeah, I guess they do say that.
Pretty much, I don't know who that was supposed to be. It's pretty much
People walking. I hear some weed smoking.
just like Krongalore the barbarians. Yeah, man, I know.
Where did you come from?
I'm sorry, I thought it was a general invite. My apologies. Yeah, whatever. I'm definitely not part of the assassins sent to kill you or anything.
Yeah, but we're making friends with him.
No, none of that. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of the only thing they say about us. He grabs it and starts toking on that and passing it around. Passes it to the long stepper. Oh my god! Good lord, man! Is this what you spent your time doing when you were out in the wilds?
Yeah, and I forage for little mushrooms on the ground.
Why are you high pitched now?
He sounds
I don't
funnier
know.
with
Your
smoking
brain
his
must
lungs.
be like a sponge.
That's what Stoth sounds like when he's high. Yeah, oh my god.
Will you be partaking, Korvac?
I don't think I could if I tried.
Do it.
So yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We're about to.
And it goes around, and passes around, and everybody has a little bit to enjoy. So what's next, boys?
Well, I know what I'm doing.
This?
No, well, yeah, this, but yeah, oh, making a leader, talking to stuff,
We all know that.
and then
We
becoming,
all know that.
and then taming some wolves.
We all know that.
But I don't know what to do after that, man.
What happens tomorrow?
One moment, gentlemen, and I get up and I walk to the corner of the room and I open a magnificent mansion. Whenever you get hungry, it's just an all-you-can-eat buffet in there.
Cool, thanks, Mac.
You're welcome, Mac.
Please call me Dad. We're the same age, but come on, kid.
Mature? We are emotionally mature at the same age.
No.
No, technically he's right.
What?
Isn't that weird?
We're the same age.
Well, okay. Yes, but
I have the same level of experience in this world as he does.
oh yeah, I guess you died. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I was about to say he was sequestered. He's got some shit, but you.
No, he was trapped in a vacuum by himself. Like he's gonna do a little bit of growing up in there, but like he also spent a couple hundred years trapped in hell because he opened up the box. So like let's just say
We've also partied with gods.
yeah, exactly. Like we've all distorted reality and time
Yeah.
Like we are currently.
currently.
Where do you fit in with this, Mr. Stoff?
In what sense?
Mr. Largefoot.
What happens tomorrow for you?
I don't know. Just wait for instructions.
He looks down and is just kind of like, no, and he takes his turn with it and passes it to you. We solve it tomorrow. Let's say we beat this guy in Malin tomorrow afternoon. I'm not saying it's happening, but I'm saying we do it. What happens tomorrow for Stoff? What happens after the world is saved and it doesn't need no more saving?
Do you go back to being a tree man?
Yeah, I go find a new place to call home.
Got anything in mind?
Maybe I climb up these mountains. That's so-called the end of the world.
Would you like to join?
Oh, kid, it's not. There's so much more out there.
There's an entire other continent on the other side of the planet.
Yeah, he shouldn't have told you that, but there is.
He has a problem with speaking.
Hey,
He's
at
like
this stage, he's already kind of wrapped into world-ending lore.
It's kind of funny. He's just got this aura about him. I just feel like he needs to be with us.
Some sort of connection that we're not quite sure why that exists.
Yeah.
You think you feel that?
Yeah. If you guys want to have me with you, I will find home within around you.
He guys just starts pouring that liquor that he grabbed randomly.
I get out a piece of paper and I just start writing. This is a contract for the Mac Foundation.
Oh, we're doing that.
The Mac Foundation.
Yeah. Or it could be the Korvac. The Cormac. The MacBack?
The MacPack.
I like the MacBack. The MacBack Foundation. It's something that I want to create. Because I don't want to be
MacVac.
MacBack. Or Cormac.
Cormac. MacVac. Corvac.
Quarterback.
Stomac. Stoff Corvac Mac. Stomac.
Stove Mac?
Stomach. Stomach. Oh, that's not good.
Stomach.
Stoff. Quaff.
Why don't we all just legally change our middle name to something? Like, we call ourselves The Crunch Foundation.
More
Two.
had a
Mac and Korvac.
Hold on. When you spiral out of names, it's bad. What did you originally want to call it?
I don't have a name. I just used the Mac Foundation as a fill-em-up.
Yeah, problem with fill-em-ups is that we stick with them.
He kind of looks at you, he's like, Mac, I love you. You're my son.
That's good. Why'd I inspire that feeling?
So shut up! If you just shut up and let the thoughts get finished, it's more potent. God damn it. I love you. You're my son. I know you see an inspired man in Cringe. But the last thing Cringe would want is for you to be riding his coattails. Cringe loves originality. Original expression. I know what you wish to do, and I know you wish to follow in his footsteps. But you gotta go your own way.
The three fun guys.
Okay, Mac.
He's like, yeah, I'm not listening.
I mean, I understand. I like. He was trying to create his own original name. I get that. Maybe give it more time, son. Maybe not on a blisteringly unsober night.
But the feeling is
guys.
true, though. I think
Oh, of course. You guys are great guys, and you three are some fun guys. But they're gonna call you the three funguses.
Oh,
sounds
three funguses.
I mean, we have an entire family back home at Castle Backstreet. By the way, Castle Backstreet was named after the guy that's now dead because the person that we hired to work in the castle as our steward wizard slit his throat. We then made Fawn one of the lords of that castle.
I don't know why that needed to happen now, but it has. So none of you ever answered the question.
Yeah. We're just on him so far. Say we kill Malin and the Victorian, or end it, or stop it, or something tomorrow.
What happens tomorrow?
I become the most powerful wizard in Tangier.
Thomas, for the love of God, let somebody else answer. You did the Mac Foundation thing last time that went on a tangent.
Well, I thought we would be settled by now, but everything's settled in the fingers. I create a grand band of hunters and adventurers to head the exploration in the outside world.
So you just make another organization just like him?
Not like an organization, because it'd be working directly under the fingers.
These are misfits.
Ah. So he'll have an organization. You'll have an organization. What about you, Stoff?
I just got the trees. Gotta make sure that nature is taken care of. That everything gets back to the way it was.
Up a little bit in the octaves.
You're a little quiet is what he means.
Oh,
You're not making that bar move a lot at all, Beverly.
sorry.
No worries, bud.
I gotta make sure that the nature is taken care of. That nature gets brought back to what it should be.
You know, it must be done all of the weed you've done, because you are just somehow more audible when you're smoking.
It's honorable. Hell, every single one of you didn't say anything about relaxing or enjoying yourself or reveling. It's all about the next step, huh?
I mean, it's just fun. I've been thinking about making sure my people don't get left behind for a while. Ever since I brought my mother back, it just seemed like they were so trapped in
Well,
You know.
leave the pack.
Mr. Stoff, I have a question.
What?
When was the last time you were fully connected with the Evertree?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, some druids can go into a trance-like state and kind of commune with the Evertree. I don't imagine that's anything you would have ever have done. Living the life you would have done, you've kind of find peace and tranquility doing your own thing. So you really wouldn't have gone to Therowind, which is the place where the people do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not part of the circle.
He's not.
So yeah, he would have never.
Never.
Do you have any interest?
Basco probably would allow you to do it if you ever wish to connect to the Evertree. At this point, I think someone should. Someone needs to connect with it. Look at what's going on.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in learning.
Good. He kind of passes more drink around. Mac, you got a love interest in mind?
Not particularly.
Well, you better start giving me grandkids eventually.
I just haven't found that special someone yet.
Wish. Is that fucked up? That might be fucked up.
Yeah, maybe don't wish me up some babies. Maybe just make me some babies old-fashioned way, okay?
True polymorph.
No! Korvac,
Hmm.
the big night's tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, later today.
Yep.
Ready?
I hope so.
That doesn't sound convincing.
I can't. Yeah, well, you're right. You're right. I'm totally ready. I got this.
I think it's one of those things you're
It
never...
looks too...
It's one of those things I don't think you can ever be fully prepared for it. You just gotta react to it.
It's gone forever.
And if there's one thing I know about you, Korvac,
I'm pretty good at that.
yeah.
Been pretty, yeah, like that time I went to the army and tried to fly a griffin for the first time. Like I said, really good at first times.
What about the army?
Went the army and the fingers, I flew a griffin for
Oh,
the first
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm really good at first times.
Okay, so it was getting the reins to fit correctly?
Did it even have reins? Okay.
What does tomorrow hold for Max Sr.?
Being a better father and husband. I'm not an adventurer anymore. The next big adventure for me is watching you grow to surpass anything I ever could have done.
It's nice to have somebody, well, other than Crench, it's nice to have somebody wise looking over my shoulder.
That's what we're here for. I traveled with him for... Oh yeah, he actually would be much older than him. We forgot. They traveled for a long time and actively. Yeah, whoops. Brains.
And at the end of the day, I'd like to prepare Crench for retirement as well.
Crench is ready for it.
I think he's got it. He's already got a plan.
Everybody does. Crench has 1,000 plans for everything. Isn't that obvious? For everything you don't think you've even thought about, he's got 3 backup plans for it, probably. He always has, always will. He's got clones of all of us.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You've been on his castle? Have you been on his castle? You have.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably got a backup of you.
Just like
Did you used to have a family, Stuff?
It's been so long that I don't even remember what family is.
That's gotta be lonely.
I had to be brought into this world somehow. It is lonely, but you find solace with the world around you.
What if you're an eternal?
Do you feel like an eternal?
I don't know.
We've only really seen him talk to plants.
What languages do you know?
German.
What's the fuck?
Go down.
Disintegrate him.
What the fuck is German?
Languages.
Common, goblin, druidic, and one extra language.
You need to play.
You need to pick what that language is, my dude. I think we discussed this, didn't we? I don't know if we
I
did.
don't know if we did.
Well, we'll pick one after the session or right now.
We can pick it now.
Alright.
Any language jumping out at you? Sylvan is the language of. That's right, you said Sylvan, because you could speak Fae. You could speak to the Fae.
That's right.
Sylvan.
I want to read those glyphs.
Why do you know Goblin?
Goblins live around the trees.
Because he's a bugbear.
Oh, because I'm a bugbear.
Don't ask questions.
Questions about what?
Why bugbear teaches you Goblin? They're part of that hobgoblin family.
Yeah.
I know Common.
I think it's time we finally bed down.
I'm already half there.
Have some hot chocolate in a magnificent mansion, and then I'll head to bed.
Okay. I'm gonna find some different music here in a second.
Pirates of the Caribbean. This is not what we expected.
No, that's not good. No, that's not good either. Jesus Christ.
So how stoked do you think Harrian's gonna be?
No, guys, I don't want it.
I can't possibly.
I was gonna vote for Basco,
Yeah, right.
the most reasonable among us.
Oh god. Him and Vasco have stepped on each other's tails a bit. So.
Who's that?
I think it's more Basco than stepping on him.
Who's
Harrian.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You eventually find sleep. And you awake. Oh, wait, no. That's not where you'd be.
Back in the Victorian's room. It was a joke, guys. You never left.
Thank you for revealing all of your plans.
You go to sleep. And you all awake. Once again in a place on your realm, but not. Almost betwixt realms, but in it. It's a place when you've met people you shouldn't be meeting before. People like Riff. People like... Sorry, let me get back to these names. Maliki.
Mhm.
I guess.
Magnus. People like the Traveler. Standing in front of you now is the Traveler. A man covered in a cloak that covers his entirety. And almost carries the same silhouette around himself. He seems strained. Well, lads,
It's been tough to get a hold of you. This realm is being sealed. The man who you met earlier, well, he's, oh, he's had plans within plans.
Are you saying an Eternal could defy the gods?
He's blocking the gods. He's had their energy to do it. He's been sucking from Abaddon. He's been sucking from Orcus. That's what those portals were. Multiple locations throughout the world. He's fortifying the outside of our eternity. None of the other gods can get to anymore. I was the only one who could because I share a plane with you. We offer you one last gift. It is the only gift we can offer you now from this point forward. Who's the only one left? We offer it to you now. It kind of just offers a box, kind of gift wrapped. It'll pivot open. Who reaches for it?
I take it.
You open it, and it is the bell. The bell, like the ding ding, one of those bells. There was one of those in a box the last time you looked at god items, but you didn't grab it. It was one of the few god items remaining. That's what you rolled for earlier, Josh. You selected that item unbeknownst to you, and that is the one that the traveler could grab and bring to you before the seal could happen.
What does it do?
Bring it in your time of needs. It takes a few days to recharge, but there's always a merchant who always has just what you need.
Ooh. I have one question. How can we get the curator back into our realm?
He's not in your realm. He hasn't been for some time, my friend. So because of that, he's being blocked out like everything else.
Is there a way to maybe give him access again?
Kill the man who's done this.
Duly noted.
I'll be around, holding what pieces I can together.
Thank you.
You both wake up. All of you wake up. From this point forward, anything that sends someone to another plane beyond the plane that you are in right now requires at least one level more of a spell slot to do, i.e. plane shift, banishment, things of that nature. As the entire plane of existence that you exist on is being encapsulated by this man's magic. And I think that's where we should end tonight.
Jeez.
Nice drawing you've got there. What are you working on?
I don't know, it's just a line and follow, you know?
Some fucking Crunch's wife.
Yeah, start with the line and go off from there.
Very lore heavy episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have made it battle heavy.
Coulda. Yeah, I know.
No, it would not have been heavy, my dude. It would have been that's the end for this campaign, and make new characters for the 200 years later episode.
Yeah.
To be frank, every episode can be a battle heavy episode.
Right, if we just keep asking to fuck his wife, he's gonna want to fuck
Do you want to fuck somebody's wife? We'll take you to Normie.
Quinch has kind of been like the dad of the campaign for most of it.
You can't just ask. You just have to...
You're like basically asking to fuck Mrs. Claus, essentially.
You have to work your way into that.
Gotta fuck a few elves first.
Like, to be fair, like, he's had orgies with people having sex with his wife, but it's just, you know, come on. You can't be crass.
A bell?
I promise you, Korvac, I will...
You know, ding ding!
Gotcha.
I promise you, Korvac, I will figure out how to take you up to a room somehow without crushing you to death.
Now you know what bell I sort of mean?
My brain was Salvation's Army bell.
Order up.
Exactly. Any other final thoughts before we end this evening's festivities?
I got enough pages. That's all that matters.
Maximilianus?
I really don't have anything else to proctor that I haven't already.
Well, thank you folks for joining us. It's been a great pleasure, but till next time, you mind doing the pleasure?
Pleasure.
Hitting that end stream.